Ricky here with Breaking Your Barriers on our segment Hanging Out with Local Heroes. And our local hero for today is somebody who is not a stranger to adversity as well as facing challenges. And I'm not going to give anything away. I'm going to let her share her story. She's going to introduce herself. So without letting you guys wait any longer, Aria, go ahead and introduce yourself, and the stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Ricky. When you first said that, oh, I want to interview you, I have this YouTube channel, I was so flattered, and I said, wow, somebody wants to interview me. So I was so happy about it. But the thing is that this is not my comfort zone. I don't want to be on cameras or people even hear me when I'm talking or anything. But I recently learned from another podcast that one of my friends is doing it, interviewing different people to be comfortable be, uh, being uncomfortable. So I'm trying that. So even if I'm not I'm not comfortable, I'm doing it. So I'm Aria Dehdari. I moved here to United States October 2010. Before that, I used to go to English classes, so I knew how to write. My writing was so good, my grammar was good, but I couldn't speak English. I could speak English, but day-to-day speaking was so hard for me. And the first job I had here was front desk in Language Institute front desk, and I have to speak on the phone. It was disaster. It was really hard, but um, but the thing is that public speaking is not only difficult for me when I speak in English as my second language. Even in Farsi, it is hard for me because I'm a perfectionist and I am constantly judging myself. And I want, even if I don't pronounce something good, I feel so bad. I don't want to talk to even make a mistake to pronounce something bad. When I came here 2010,
Mhm.
um, um, so before that, my life was pre-planned, so I didn't really had any challenge. I got my BS in software engineering,
Ah.
and right after that, my uncle called me. Okay, do you want to go to work? Just go to this company and interview. And I did the same thing. Right away, they hired me. And when I came to US, I was thinking, okay, I'm going to change it and I'm going to study psychology. But again, it didn't happen because I had this background in software engineering and experience, like 9 years experience. Again, I ended up in the same field. So,
Hmm.
um, but I never had a dream, and I didn't know myself. I didn't know what I like, what I don't like. So it was really hard for me. Um, in 2017, I just left my job and I said, okay, I'm going to start to. I left it because I was so miserable. I felt so miserable. Computer science, it was not my passion. I was not happy about it. But since that was life, and after I moved here, there was nothing else that immediately could help me to like get a job, make money. So I again end up in that, but I was not happy. So I left the job, but still I was not happy because I had this mindset, or the way that lived all my life. I If I was not working, I felt so bad. Even my mom was
Hmm.
telling me, oh my God, don't tell anyone that you're not working.
I need to ask you because the fact that you're already talking about work, it's impressive. But the reason why this is impressive to me is because when you first came to the country, how much of a culture shock was it for you? And what did you have to change immediately? And what things did you find weird when you first got here in 2010?
Culture wise, I don't know. I mean, I cannot specifically say the culture wise, because I was from the beginning, I was a little bit different. I was not traditional way
Oh,
Iranian white. Yeah. So so because of that, it was easier for me to culture wise accept the, so I mean, the new culture, like society. But my problem was speaking was the main problem for me. Even uh, communication, making
hmm.
friends, it was so hard.
Yet you
Yeah.
overcame it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm challenging. So after uh, I I quit my job, and then I started to say, okay, what I like, what I want to do.
Hmm.
Now at least I know that I don't want to programming and be in that field, but what I like, I still didn't know. So until 2000, I after a presidential uh, election, and Trump came to office, and I said, wow, it was like a shock. And I said, okay, so what can I do? So I started to um, learn about the locals in the area. All the election 2018 was the closest one, and I learned about the congressional in our district congressional race. And I went to some of the candidates, greet and meet. I found the my desired candidate, and I started volunteering. And for the first time in my life, I did canvassing, and I was uh, terrified to do it. It was really, at the same time, it was interesting and I inspiring to do it, but terrifying at the same time. Anyway, I did it, and
Yeah.
I started to new lovely people during the that canvassing. I'm so happy about it. I learned about someone. I mean, we got to introduce one of the guys, gentleman that was hosting this canvassing. And 40 years ago, he was in Iran. For some reason, he was a director in some institute in US. And 40 years ago, I mean, more than 40. I mean, even before I was born, he was in Iran. So it was interesting. I learned that I like to activism, like
Hmm.
advocating. I was learning about myself that what I want, it was giving me joy, and I was feeling so good doing it.
Yep.
I mean canvassing, it was a nice feeling. But I was not equipped to do it. So I knew that I have
Yeah.
to do like public, I mean, be able to speak, to be able to not to constantly judge myself. If
Right.
I want to have this communication, if I want to be able to advocate for something that I have passion about it and just inspire people and motivate people, this is my next step. I have to master public speaking.
That before you share that, getting into the public speaking, one thing I definitely know about you is you are a risk taker. You're a huge risk taker. And more
Yeah.
importantly, regardless of your communication barrier,
Mhm.
you didn't let it stop you from chasing what you want in your life. And that's impressive because when people have any kind of barriers, they usually get stuck where they are comfortable. You said it best earlier, be comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And you are living that. That's the reason why you're here today. And that's the reason why I personally believe in my heart that you are a local hero who will promote hope, who is unknowingly and knowingly an advocate for hope.
Yeah.
You really are.
Yeah.
Please continue.
So, um, COVID happens.
Mhm.
When COVID happened, so I was at home all the time, and um, that was when I was introduced to Toastmaster, and it was on Zoom, and I said, yes, this is my perfect way of doing communication, because if I want to be in person in the meeting, probably I wouldn't do it, but because it was on Zoom, and said, yeah, I'm gonna give it a try. So that was how I got to Toastmaster, and that's it. You're saying that I'm a hope advocate. Beside that, I really uh, care and passionate about mental health, and I want to be an advocate for mental health. So that's it.
That is more than it. That is amazing. I love the fact that you are passionate about you're really passionate about helping others, and that's what really stands out about you. And yes, that is what I saw within you. I saw that light. I go, I like Aria. She's really cool. And then we got a chance to speak, and here you are now sharing exactly what we discussed way back, a few months back.
Mhm.
And you are going to continue to do that. You are going to continue to inspire. You are going to continue to find ways to help others. You are, in a word, an amazing hero, somebody who cares. I'm sure they would ask, well, Arya, what do you suggest for me? Because I have my own barriers. I know you had yours when you came here 11 years ago. What do you suggest for me so that I can keep moving forward?
Mm, that's a good question. I mean, I again say the same thing. Just be comfortable being uncomfortable, because and break your comfort zone. That's the only thing that takes to move forward. Otherwise, I mean, you can be successful in many areas
Mhm.
that you're comfortable with, but not in the areas that makes you happy. Yeah.
You said the key word, and this is probably a question they're going to ask. I'm making money now in my job. I'm not happy. I know there's something else in my heart that I'd rather be doing. What's your thoughts on that?
just just be brave to um, do what you really want to do. I want to add here that I after long time, because when I was in Iran,
Mhm.
and my parents were here, so my case was when I got their green card, I was 21, so I couldn't go with my parents, because and my mom was keep telling me that don't get married, don't get married. So for me, i I couldn't get married because I didn't want my case to be shifted to another case that takes longer. I mean, even now that it took like 10 years to come here, but yeah, it took long for
Wow.
me. But anyway, even after I came here, so my life, I need some time to just get established here. So again, I didn't even think about dating anyone, or I ended up being like older, but not having a like a lifetime partner. But But later in life, I think it was 2016 when I find my, I don't know if soulmate is does exist or not, but anyway, I will say that my soulmate in 2017, I quit my job. But I want to say that his presence in my life really helped me to even that braveness, or before him it was not coming out. I mean, I don't know, maybe I still would be in the same field and I still feeling miserable. But he, because of his support, his courage, I mean, he gave me courage to do it. And uh, his help really helped me to feel brave enough to quit and do my own what I like to do.
It's funny, I was about to ask you who was your inspiration in your life. I have the answer.
Yeah, he really helped me. And let me add to it. I mean, definitely there was so many people during my life, whoever who taught me anything in life is my inspirational person. Self-awareness instructor. I remember I used to go to his classes. He has this motivational classes based on psychology of Jung. He was saying that what I teach you now is like seeds that will grow sometime in future. And that was really true. And for me, there were so many things that I learned throughout my life, but I was not brave enough to like apply them to my life. I just knew that it was here, but I was not actually doing it.
Gotcha. This is probably a very appropriate question because most people are thinking, while I'm young, I can take a lot of risk. When I'm a little bit older, it's a little bit scarier. Thank you for doing that. Your expression let me further know what your answer is going to be. So the question, what do you feel about people taking risk?
um, I would say that I learned from my life experiences that you have to do it and don't think about consequences. For example, I listened to the one of the interviews you had with, I don't remember the name of the lady. I think she was in Brazil. That
Jimena.
Jimena? Yeah, Jimena. Yeah, she was so young. At at that young of age, she knew that what she wants.
Right.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that until like few, maybe a year ago, 2 years ago. I didn't know that. I had no dreams. I didn't know what I like. Even when I was meditating. I mean,
Mhm.
I was trying to meditate. They were telling me, go to your happy place.
Mm.
And I didn't know where my happy place is. For me, it that happy place didn't even exist in my terminology, so I didn't know. So, but I think it doesn't matter that from young age you know who you are or what you want to do, or later in life, whenever you know what is your passion, what you like to do, just go for it.
You said it best earlier. You plant those seeds,
Yeah.
and it depends on how fast they grow and how much you water them. And
Yeah.
when it finally blooms, guess what? That's your right time.
Yeah.
Jimena is one of those amazing cases where right away she knew what she wanted.
Yeah.
And similar to you, Aria, I didn't know. I had some very God-given gifts, and I'm very blessed for having them. Did I use them right away? No, it took me years, and just recently as well, I go, this is what I want to do. So
Mhm.
everybody has their perfect timing, and you
Yeah.
said it perfectly. Now, Arya, I would love for you to leave us with any any quote or any value or anything you want to share for our listeners and our viewers to take away. Is there anything you'd like to share with us?
Yes, it
Please.
would be live in the present, just like second by second. I read so many books or so many. I mean, usually I listen to podcasts
Mhm.
and videos, but about positivity and how to be positive, how to be motivated. But for me, it doesn't happen. So for me, none of them works. The only thing that works for me is just to live in the present and don't think about the uh, consequences or what's going to happen next.
Right.
That that helped me a lot. I there's a saying in Farsi. I mean, it might have the same meaning in English,
Please.
that in is bogzarat, meaning it will pass. It will pass. It's gonna it's gonna be all right. Something like this. Yeah. So that is something that helped me every day to just live second by second and be in the moment.
That is fantastic. And similar to that saying in Farsi, it will pass. Basically, it's for me what I took away from what you just shared was you're going to have some ridiculously horrible days, but it will pass.
Yeah.
I love that. Aria, would you like to greet some of your friends as well as your family? I'd love to hear it in your native tongue because I know you shared earlier you're even shy to speak in Farsi, but I'd love to give you an opportunity to speak in Farsi as well as English, but go ahead and greet your family and friends.
من از اینجا سلام میفرستم برای همه دوستان و فامیلی که خانوادگی که بهم کمک کردن. من الان اینجا هستم و الان دارم تمرین اینو میکنم که بتونم که بدون مشکل سخنرانی کنم. Did it.
Wow. It's literally like listening to poetry. I didn't understand anything except for the word family.
Yeah, family actually. I mean, after I said it, they said, oh, it's English.
It's English, so it's part of it. Aria, thank you for sharing all of your wonderful experiences and literally for opening up everything that you've gone through and your personal beliefs. But more importantly, thank you for being you and taking the time to be uncomfortable being here because you told me like, you know what? I'll be there, and you are. So I really I thank you for that
Okay.
and also sharing those wonderful words of wisdom. Be in the now. Be
Mhm,
present. Stop
mhm,
worrying about the past. Stop worrying about the future.
mhm.
Be present now and give it your all. I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
Thank you again, Arya. And once again, for those of you who are listening, I know you took away some amazing ideas and, more importantly, a possible change in your own perception of age, challenges, adversity, or whatever it is that comes your way. Thank you, Arya, and we will be seeing you on our next show.
Okay.
Have an amazing, amazing day and keep breaking those barriers, everybody.
Thank you so much, Ricky. Bye.